The city of Edmonton is Festival City, and we've got another one coming up for you. We'll find out if this is the first incarnation of it or if it's a repeat offender. It's going to be something else. Smoke in the Valley Barbecue Festival is coming up on September 26, 27, 28 at the Snow Valley Ski Club. My guest today is one of the people who is a big catalyst for that festival, Mel Chmilar Jr. from Dark Side of the Grill.
Reluctantly.
This podcast brought to you by homegirls.ca, a top producing team at Remax Professionals, and thompsonmortgages.com. They take care of the financials. You search for your perfect home. The combination of these two sponsors has helped me facilitate multiple real estate transactions, including my most recent move right here in 2025. Now here's today's show.
Reluctantly.
How we doing, boss?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
This is our second podcast. We did the first one, I guess, in the fall of last year or early in the winter.
That's right. Yep.
And that's when we found out all about Mel Chmilar Jr. and how things came to be from a welder who liked to barbecue at staff functions up in Fort McMurray, and some little puke was sending out pictures of his food on Instagram, and then all of a sudden it turned into I don't know. Is it a multi-thousands or multi-million-dollar business, what you're doing now?
Well, we're for sure in the multi-hundreds. Definitely. That's yeah, exactly. If the government's listening, for sure, multi-hundreds. That's it. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And if the government's listening, please subscribe on YouTube and share on your social media.
Exactly.
Something that's really cool is Dark Side of the Grill. You can follow on Instagram. You can follow on Facebook. And you've got a huge amount of viewers on YouTube as well.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good on YouTube. We've been picking up a lot of steam. We've been recording the little bits that we're doing now for potentially Netflix is the plan. So we're shooting episodes while I'm traveling around the world now, and we're making an 8 or maybe a 10-part series, which we're then selling to Netflix Canada. So
okay, first of all, that's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that'll be so amazing. Was there any discussion with other networks? Was it on Netflix only? Was there ever like the Food Network or anything like that?
So we have like somebody, I'm not saying who, but one of the comedians that I cater for every once in a while when I'm down in the States and stuff like that, just put me in touch with the right people. And there's a gentle commitment, a handshake, so we'll see what happens, but it's way better than any opportunity I've had thus far. So
okay, I want dibs on being the announcer or narrator or anything to do with the series.
Oh, 100%. It's wild, man. If you get a chance, hit up my YouTube. I've got Man Down Under right now, part 1 and 2. Florida Mel's going to be coming out right away, and that's going to be a wild trip. And then we got UK, and right now we're shooting Melberta. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's really good. I love that. Okay, just so before we get into Smoke in the Valley, which is coming up September 26th, 27th, and 28th down at the Snow Valley Ski Club in the River Valley, just off the White Mud, we'll talk about some of the other things. Since you and I have talked last time on the podcast, we've talked a number of times since then and WhatsApp and all that stuff. But since we've talked, you have traveled to Australia, I know for sure.
Yep.
Have you been to Ireland yet?
We missed Ireland, but we did the UK. We did Scotland. We did London.
You said
Texas and Florida.
I said I remember you saying to me that you wanted to go to Ireland.
Oh, we tried.
And just barf in a bush. You wanted to drink Irish whiskey and puke in a bush.
Oh, we came super close. I had no idea what UK was actually like. 2 weeks is not enough time there. It was nuts. Yeah, we took the train to Scotland, so we did a week in Edinburgh. We did a week in the UK just through London and everything like that, and there was no time for anything. It was insane, just back to back to back, going like snot. It was wild.
So for people who are listening maybe for the first time or never caught the Dark Side of the Grill podcast on the Reluctantly podcast prior, just to give a little background, you're basically a rock star, but it's all open fire grilling, right?
Yes. So when I was in London, I cooked at the Ascot. They're at the race stables at the Ascot. They had me in the King's Kitchen prepping an English hare under gunpoint. They had 2 guards with guns standing at the door while I was in the king's kitchen, and I prepped an English hare, which we served out to the public at the Royal Ascot. And this was a week after their gigantic race. And because I'm a Canadian ambassador, one of the ladies went into the stables and brought me a horseshoe from Queen Elizabeth's pony, Emma. And this came off of the pony while she still rode it. So when I handed that to my mom looked at me. She's like, "Isn't this supposed to be like in a museum?" I said, "Mom, it is. It's in our museum. It's crazy. Like it. Never in my life did I think I'd be cooking in the king's kitchen under gunpoint.
Okay.
Like
Well, the question I have about the Queen's horse is, you've got the horseshoe. What happened to the horse?
these are all great questions that I don't answer, man. That's my yeah. You know the things I see on my tours, man. You just
So
take it with a grain of salt.
when you say the king's kitchen, you're talking
Mhm.
about King Charles, the current monarch.
Correct. I went through Windsor Castle. If anybody on the show ever been to Windsor Castle, it smells like pee. I couldn't find a bathroom in the entire castle. Maybe that's why it smells like pee. I don't know, but pretty neat that in the 1600s or whenever they built it, bathrooms weren't a big deal. So it's pretty neat. It was pretty wild. I got to see a lot of stuff. We ate at the best steakhouse in London, and the chef that runs the entire steakhouse cooked us a couple of steaks in the kitchen prior to us going out and having just the biggest feast in the world. It's nuts. It's just nuts to try and explain this to other people. They just can't wrap their head around it.
Who is the contact that rigs you up to all of a sudden you're cooking in the king's kitchen in Buckingham Palace, the Windsor Castle, whatever it is?
Terry, the scariest thing about this, just like our mutual friend, right? When people say they know people, I take them at their word now because those people just seem to show up. And it's like, this is insanity. But I don't know. You know how it is. Once you get into showbiz and that nature of things, you never know who's going to be sitting on a lawn chair in a backyard somewhere. You just roll with it. It's
Yeah.
wild.
I don't know if I'd call what I do showbiz, but it's a Canadian radio. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow. Holy, okay, awesome. I met Rick met Rick Bronson today. Oh, there you go. So you said that you took the train. Is that overnight train from London to Edinburgh that you took?
Yeah. So it was like, I think it was 4 hours or 5 hours.
Uh-huh.
And it shot right up to Scotland, right up to Edinburgh. And we did a whole bunch of shenanigans in Scotland. They like to drink a lot more in Scotland. And I didn't think that was possible being in London. The neatest thing about that was the culture of that place is much like Fort McMurray. You wake up, you have a pint, you have a piss, and then you might eat something, hop on the train. You got to pee again. So then where do you go? You go back to the pub, have another couple, maybe get some lunch. And then what are you doing? Well, I'm bored now. Like literally the entire time was just hopping from pub to pub to pub and just was wild.
Did you go up to the Edinburgh Castle and go to World's End and the Royal Mile and all that stuff?
So yeah, we did all of that. And the neatest thing for me was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein has a bar there, which is in one of the towers on the Royal Mile. And the animatronics were from like the 1920s or something like that. And it was just, then, for me, that's my style of stuff, right? I was in heaven. It was crazy.
So the England, the UK and Scotland and stuff. Before that, you were in Australia, completely different climates, completely different environments and atmospheres, but still doing all the cooking, the open fire, the Pitmaster stuff, different kinds of meat that you're looking after down there. Or like, are you cooking wallabies compared to rabbits at the King's Castle or kitchen?
I will tell you this: a kangaroo. Whoever tells you, oh, kangaroo meat's awesome, they ate it in a hamburger that was half cut with Alberta beef anyway, right? To have a hind quarter of kangaroo hanging from a chain over a live fire, you can smell that thing 100 feet away. It's like a deer, but way more gamey. It's not favorable at all. So yeah. It's you learn these things, man. It's just like camel. Big chunks of camel meat stink.
Well, can't you put a bunch of cow cane? Do you have Dark Side of the Grill rub? Can't you put cow cane and your other stuff on it?
Buddy, I tried just about everything to get that thing to smell anything other than what it was smelling like. And we had a couple bites of it. Sure. Great. We did it. But yeah.
And then, they say that there's all kinds of stuff down in Australia that can kill you. All kinds of critters and bugs, for everything
That
from kangaroos to spiders and stuff. What's the weirdest?
that's a true story, man.
Yeah.
That's and the kids there don't flinch. The first time I was in Australia, I was in the very back country, and I had my Converse on. I didn't even notice that all the rest of the people in my crew were wearing cowboy boots. So I had my cons and my shorts on, and I'm walking through 2 feet of dead grass everywhere. We're looking for gum trees to pull a big witchetty grub out of. And I kick a snake that was kind of falling through the grass. And the guy looks over and he looks at me. He's like, "Ooh, brother, that was a bad one." I'm like, "What's that mean?" He's like, "That got enough venom to kill 10 of us." And then I noticed they're all wearing boots and I'm standing there in cons. I'm like, maybe this is not the greatest idea in the world here either. This is nuts. Yeah, brown snakes, they like super venomous and they like no one flinch, no one cares. The spiders the size of plates, right? No one cares. They're like crabs. It's crazy. Great.
Nobody told you to take your Fort Mac safety gear down there.
Exactly.
Your high vis vest and all of your Suncor coveralls.
That's it. That's it. It was nuts, man. It was nuts.
Reluctantly.
This podcast reluctantly sponsored by ThompsonMortgages.com. Not limited to just mortgages. They also provide insurance. Almost any service associated with a home or building purchase can be done in-house. And for anything beyond that, they have an extensive network of professionals at their fingertips. Consolidations, loans, mortgages, legal services, accounting services, financial planning, insurance. They are your one-stop shop. How do I know this? Well, Mike at ThompsonMortgages.com has helped us out with our mortgages for the last few real estate transactions that we have made. You can be confident that they will work hard to ensure all your mortgage and insurance goals are fulfilled. Check them out for yourself. ThompsonMortgages.com.
Reluctantly.
Oh, so what? So a kangaroo, don't, if I ever see it on a menu, don't order it?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's fine if it's like ground or it's little steaks from the tail. You got to try it once. That's my deal. Is I'm going to try everything once. Everything on the menu. It is what it is. But it was not fantastic.
Yeah. That is something. I have seen you eat some stuff that I would put in the questionable category if I was writing it all down on a sheet of paper.
100%.
So one of the other things you mentioned, you were down in the South, Texas. Was it Texas or?
Yep, Texas. Florida was a big one this year. So I did the Barbecue Love Fest in Tampa, which is put on by a Cuban guy that runs a huge smokehouse in Tampa Bay. And they're doing all kinds of neat stuff for charity. And that was massive. We fed like half of Tampa Bay went through there. I got on the Mike Calta show. He's got like a million listeners every day, just nuts. And then right after that, I ran the 5K with Bert Kreischer and Jelly Roll. And I got to meet Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother, the one that looks like a gigantic Viking. I don't know. You'll know. He's got a giant beard. You know what I mean?
Jason Kelsey.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Jason Kelsey. That's right. He punched me right in the chest. Dude's got like mitts on him like La Rock, man. It was nuts. So yeah, it was neat hanging out with them in the VIP and doing all of that. I ran the 5K while smoking a cigar. So it was a good time. And my audio video guy that was shooting for our bit that we're doing, the Florida Mel and he smoked a joint on the 50-yard line in the Buccaneer Stadium. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Bert went to college down there. He's a big Bucks fan, and as I think Seminoles, I think is his Florida team. But yeah, I've known Bert for a long time. It's been great to watch him go into the stratosphere as far as social media and all of his stand-up and his movie and everything else. So
super humble dude, man. I love when you meet people in the business that are exactly what you want them to be.
Yeah,
and they're just being honest. I love it. Yeah.
What was Jelly Roll like? He seems like a decent guy.
He was super sweet, but to get within 10 feet of him, he's got all his hired henchmen, which are, that you've heard the story. They're all ex-cons that he brings with him. Legit are ex-cons, and you're not within 10 feet of Jelly Roll unless he gives you the nod.
Mm-hmm.
And like they were holding me way back, and I'm like, dude, this is hey, hey. And then he looked over, he's like, oh yeah, come on in. And then just right away, I was like, whoa, man, I like your pit bulls. These guys are fantastic. Like, it was pretty cool. But yeah, he's lost a ton of weight. He's really doing crazy stuff there. So
Yeah.
it's neat.
He's
It's really neat. He ran the 5K too, which was nuts.
Yeah, well, he's lost a ton of weight, like you said, and he's still working at it, and he's playing huge stadiums and stuff now, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's staying
Yeah.
real active and in the eye of everybody to make sure that he, doesn't fall out of the algorithm, I suppose.
100%, man.
Uh,
100%.
so I mentioned earlier, you and I did the Reluctantly podcast earlier, and I'm coming up on a year now. I'm just a month short of a year of doing these silly things.
Yep.
You were one of my first guests, and it was because we were going to have musicians and comics and sports personalities, weirdos, wackos, and nut bars, and you fall into the latter of the three categories. And the other thing is entrepreneurs as well. So from that podcast that you and I did, our buddy Trevor, now a mutual friend,
Yep.
contacted me and said, "Hey, how do I get a hold of Mel to put on a big live fire event and stuff?" So the wheel started rolling and whatnot, and now all of a sudden we've got this big event coming up on September 26th, 27th, and 28th. What's the beginning of it look like? What is it all going to entail?
Well, first of all, this is my PSA is that I am not an event planner. And I did not have planning an event of this magnitude on my bingo card for 2025. And Trevor is much like the latter half of what you just said as well. He's definitely a nut bar and all of that fantastic stuff as well. He's not fantastic at this kind of stuff either. The back end of things, we're used to having a crew of people that do a lot of stuff, you know, in the meantime. So I've learned how to use Canva in the last week here and like in a dire need to have it because I just don't have outsourcing capabilities. The timeline is not there. Everything's just I'm procuring baby goats that have never touched solids and then finding walk-in coolers to hide them until the event. I'm procuring whole hogs that are, heritage breed. We've got a gigantic whole steer from Jeff Nonay at Lakeside Farmstead. He donated the steer that we're cooking. Of course, the rack had to be built in Ontario by my guy's Bogline, and now it's in transit across the country. It's like and Trevor is just laughing. He's like, dude, this is nothing like a concert. This is nothing like a music event. This is the craziest. I'm like, picture you have Ozzy Osbourne needing his black jelly beans, but it's like every person here needs a different kind of something. Like it's just insane the stuff that I'm procuring, right? So we got a hot tub sponsor that's going to be setting up 2 hot tubs for my guys that are staying overnight cooking the steer. So it'll be the classic Mel cigar, have a few martinis and hang out in the hot tub while we're barbecue. It's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be fantastic. We got big stick burners, so I'll go through the roster with you a little bit. I've got Al Fragoni. He's an Argentinian who now resides in Texas. He's got millions of followers across all his stuff. I've got TFTI from California. He's blowing up like crazy. Big Javi is the original whole steer cooker. He built the very first steer rack the way that we're doing it. He cooked in the Dallas Stadium for the Fort something, whatever, Texas stuff, right? Amazing stuff. So these
Fort
guys, I got
Worth?
Luke.
Fort
Yeah,
Worth or something? Okay.
yeah, the stockyards. Yes, so we did the gigantic thing. Was all over the news. Super cool. So he helped design my steer rack with my guys from Ontario. So they've been voicing back and forth. So it's absolutely to his standards. He's coming up to cook Canada's first steer, the way that we're doing it this way. And this was one of those things after your podcast and after Trevor kind of put the bug in my ear. It was like, if we don't do this, someone else will. So, without anywhere near a landing strip, we're gonna land this plane anyway, and it's gonna be absolutely epic. So that's what we've been doing. Just every pitmaster pretty much that I've crossed paths with in all the different countries have come together to support, and most of them have pulled passports just for this event. Had no interest in coming to Canada whatsoever until this event popped up.
So
So it's crazy.
is it going to be a competition so to speak? Is it going to be judged? Is there an opportunity for other people to go in and start cooking, or is it going to be more of an exhibition?
So we have two parts to this bad boy now. I did the full KCBS, solid, stringent barbecue competition. So I think we got 20 teams right now. We're shooting for 30. In the one section of the campground will be a full-blooded barbecue competition where they're competing for 20K. I think we got on the line for that. It's massive, and they're competing. This is one of the last events of the year, so they're fighting for their position in Canada's barbecue for the United States, where they place in the Jack Daniels and the American Royal and Kansas City, all of that stuff, right? So it's pretty cool. We got the judges section all done. All of these are certified KCBS judges that are going to be judging that competition. So that's its whole own beast. Now, on top of that, we have the live fire exhibition, which is open to the public. People can walk through, learn from the Pitmasters, see what we're doing there. It's all like asado, Argentinian style. We also have the Texan style. So we have the big smokers cooking briskets and pulled pork and quarter chickens and stuff like that. There's a few vendors that are pretty cool. Three Amigos, I think they're coming out, and they're going to be doing their carne asada tacos, and we're going to be cooking their meat over the live fire while they serve it out. It's going to be just wild, the different aspects of this, including then you got the distilleries or the breweries, and then you got live music. So it's a win all the way around.
Reluctantly.
This podcast is reluctantly sponsored by the real estate team of homegirls.ca, a top producing team at Remax Professionals. If you are buying or selling in the Edmonton region, Shauna and Bonnie can handle everything with strong industry connections to mortgage brokers, home inspectors, lawyers, and contractors to support every step of the process. The market is very active right now. We recently listed our home again, and it went from MLS to closing conditions in 8 days. Now, of course, results may vary from property to property, but Shauna and Bonnie have been our trusted real estate advisors through buying and selling no less than 7 properties. I've recommended them to many friends who want real, relatable people with a personalized, hands-on approach. New home, investment, recreational, even commercial properties. Homegirls.ca is the website. Email info is right there. And the phone number is 780-517-HOME.
Reluctantly.
Is there going to be the taste of Edmonton? Everybody buys tickets and uses a certain amount of tickets to get a little slider or a chunk of meat or a bowl of something or whatever?
So with our ticket system that we've come up with, each ticket comes with a sample. If you get the VIP ticket, it comes with a few samples. And if you get the judge's pass, it comes with a full-on meal plus some samples. So the ticket systems are broken down so that everybody gets to try something from what they want to. Then there's obviously, like you said, buying tickets. You can get more. You can buy full-on from the vendors. It's open to everybody for everything.
So we're coming up on September 26th, 27th, 28th, Smoke in the Valley Barbecue Festival at the Snow Valley Ski Club. I was looking at your Instagram page that you started up for this. You can go to Smoke in the Valley YEG, and then that's where you can see Mike Moonshine, Kevin Legge, Chuck Matteau, TFTI is listed there. Corey Richard. Corey Richard. Is that
He's out
Corey?
of New Brunswick.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Carla DiLorenzo, Lakey Sagu. I mean, the list of this must be like live fire cooking royalty, is it not?
It is. So the names we haven't dropped yet, but they will be through the week. We've got Al Fragoni, right? That absolute monster, Big Javi. There's a couple more that haven't confirmed yet, but are on the list to make it. It's always last minute, right? But it's insane. The guys from Australia that run Meat Stock, and they're feeding 20, 30,000 people through the gate, have a roster like this. We're pushing to, hedge that bet. And that's nuts. For a first show here in Edmonton in the middle of, in barbecue nowhere, to have something like this. The KCBS reps from Kansas, when I had a lunch with them, we had a meeting and they went through all of the needs for them. They're like, honestly, with the star power you have right now, this could be the American Royal for Canada, like 100%. Next year, there'll be so many teams from the States that'll want to come up and compete in this. We just, like I said, we're trying to land a plane with no runway because we just jumped into this, grabbed the bull by the horns with almost no time, right?
Well,
And it's nuts.
and that's the thing. Yeah, you talk about it's nuts. I mean, this is Alberta beef country. This, if it was ever a place, I mean, obviously Calgary could have been a spot where you could have done it, but this is Alberta beef country. And if ever there was a place that you want to do a barbecue festival, this is it.
Yeah. No, it's pretty neat. So there's someone that does a gigantic rodeo. I'm not saying which one, but a gigantic rodeo in Alberta that saw my steer rack and is already committed to his daughter's wedding next year with one of his animals 100%. So he's a rancher as well, but he's the guy who runs the whole rodeo. And he's like, you're going to be doing my daughter's wedding and we're going to put a cow on there at the ranch. And it's just wild. It's exactly what I thought would happen because it's too cool and it's Albertan,
Well,
right? It is Albertan.
and then the people end up picking up on it. It basically, you know what I liken it to is, when you're wandering around through somebody's neighborhood or your neighborhood and you're walking through a path or along the street and you go, somebody's barbecuing.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it's going to smell like on that weekend,
Yeah.
on the weekend coming up here at Snow Valley Ski Club. And they're going to have the geodomes and all kinds of other stuff. There's going to be places where the kids can go. There's going to be beer gardens for 18 plus and that sort of thing. You mentioned breweries. You mentioned craft distilleries. And I'm looking at the video right now on your Facebook page, Dark Side of the Grill, of Canada's first steer cross. And it's Big Javi's approved, and I mean, it basically looks like a Dutch windmill.
Yeah, it's wild. So that rack is able to hang like 1,000 pounds if you wanted to. It can rotate this way. It can also rotate this way and this way with a winch to bring it up and down. It's it's insane when you see it. And I cooked on the first one, 2020, I believe, in Texas, the very first model. I think there's 5 or 6 have been built since from Javi, and this is the first one up here. So very cool.
Is this for this, Smoke in the Valley YEG festival? Is this something that you are going to be cooking as an exhibition? You're going to be at live fire as exhibition or in the competition?
I'm not allowed to compete. That's number one. This is why I always, even before I am a judge. I'm a certified judge, lifetime judge. If I was in the competition booths, like it'd be cheating. I'd just rather feed the people.
Okay.
That's my magic right there. It's yeah.
All right. I just wanted to check. Are you going to have an opportunity to stand at a pit and do some cooking for samples for people outside of the competition?
I really hope that I'm not needed in too many places throughout the event because I am an organizer. So there's that aspect of it. I hope that it's not that crazy for me to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And then you're going to find me in with the whole animals the whole time. I'll be there cooking pigs, cooking the steer, those baby goats. Let me tell you. So I was just in Nuevo Leon, Santiago, Monterrey, Mexico, all in the north end there, right? The border country. And they have the world's best tacos. They come from an animal called a cabrito. A cabrito is a baby goat that has never touched solid food. So it's still milk weaned. They're tiny. They're like 10 pounds, 12, maybe 14 pounds. It's essentially the veal of goat, the tastiest, most buttery meat you've ever had in your life. Just so, if you cook it right, it's insanity how good it is. So the first thing I did when I came back home, I started talking to all of my ranchers, everyone with an acreage. Who's got goats? What are you guys doing for goats? I need to find, and Albertans are Albertans. We're very clever people. Why would you take an animal at that size when for no extra money you can get several $100s more by growing it, by just leaving it alone in the field, right? So to change people's thinking enough to actually procure these goats has been quite an issue, but I nailed it. I got it. So we'll be serving cabrito tacos as well. and I'm so excited for that because I know it's never been done here.
By the
Never.
way, just for anybody who might be listening and got this far in the podcast, don't Google who's got goats. You'll end up with the worst porn you could ever possibly imagine.
That's it. This isn't like when I was in at Nate and showing up to a house party in Stony Plain with a goat. This is different. Totally different. How do you get that thing here on a bike? Don't ask. That's yeah.
Tell me about Big Green Egg again. Your affiliation with Big Green Egg, the barbecue, the live fire barbecue. I see they're like earrings the way you're framed with them right now.
That's it. Yeah, they follow me everywhere, man. So we're gonna have those set up as well. Big Green Egg Canada is sponsoring a little bit of the thing, so we're gonna have a Big Green Egg tent and have that going as well. People get some chicken wings and stuff off of there. I love them. I absolutely love them. So 3 days after my event, I am out to Atlanta in the Striper Stadium, so the farm team for the Braves, and we're doing Eggtoberfest in Atlanta. So it's another gigantic Big Green Egg event. There's I think 3,000 or 4,000 of these things smoking throughout the stadium, the ballpark, right? And yeah, just wild. It's an event and a half all in itself. So there's no rest for the wicked, man. Just go, go, go.
You're an endorser for Big Green Egg as well through darksideofthegrill.com. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So people can go to darksideofthegrill.com and click through on all the clicky thingies and find all kinds of stuff with the link to Big Green Egg as far
100%.
as live fire. All right, let's roll through it again. Dark Side of the Grill on Instagram and Facebook, also the YouTube channel, darksideofthegrill.com. If you want to go to Smoke in the Valley YEG, that is on Instagram. There's lots of information there. And Smoke in the Valley YEG.eventbrite.ca for tickets. And that's to get, you can get, you're able to get regular passes, VIP passes, and then what's the other one?
Judges passes.
Right.
So those come with a goodie bag as well as full access to everything. So we actually have classes that we're doing in those geodomes. We got a few butchers that want to do butcher displays, so walking you through steak cuts and how to break down a half a pig and stuff like that. And then we also have a rub manufacturer, a professional rub manufacturer, coming to explain to you how to make your own barbecue rubs and neat stuff that you can do at home. A few of the pitmasters want to get in there and just tips and tricks as well. So it's pretty cool, very interactive.
And you can get 1-day tickets or you can get 3-day passes. And you can get those all in the different levels of the basic entry pass, the VIP pass, and the judges pass as well. Again, it's Smoke in the Valley, YEG.eventbrite.ca, and all of the other stuff. Thanks for doing this, Mel, and best of luck with everything with the first event and hopefully first of many.
100%. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Make sure you come out. Can't wait to have you.
Reluctantly.
This podcast reluctantly sponsored by homegirls.ca, a top producing team at Remax Professionals, and thompsonmortgages.com. They take care of the financials. You search for your perfect home. If you're searching for a home in the Edmonton area, please use both of these fine sponsors.
Reluctantly.